Alright.
Them Panera joints.
Alright, folks. We here. We definitely here. We run a little behind schedule, but we here. My name is Pat. Like again, that's Tay. Just basically coming to you every Wednesday between 8 and 10. We posted this video. Check out our website. No, not the website. Check out the Twitter. That's at RTNSsports. No, RTN. R as in Robert, T as in Tom, N as in Ninja. RTNS Sports. What is the rest?
People. It's RT in Sports.
RT in Sports. There you go.
At the Twitter.
And I'm the biggest social junkie in here.
He is.
And I don't know.
And I'm not. But it's okay. We're going to keep shooting. And welcome, everybody. This is our
first show.
Inaugural sports talk and radio. Sports, real talk. We're going to, touch on a lot of different things. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate y'all for checking us out. But it's time to
let's get into business. Let's talk about.
We came to talk sports, right? So this
guy here. Let's talk about this guy here. This guy here is a national fan. Now I'm a Braves fan, so I know about overperforming in the regular season and then coming in the postseason. We got one chip in 12 years. Big shout out to Bobby Cox, Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine. You know who y'all at. Let's talk about the Nationals. Now, we live in Maryland, so obviously we would want to see the Nationals versus Orioles. Like everybody. Everybody want to see the Nationals versus Orioles. Orioles did what they did. Congratulations to the Orioles for sweeping Detroit.
They did sweep them.
Now we have the Nationals. Mr. Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg. What's the guy? What's your manager name? Third baseman, Matt Williams.
It don't really matter what their names are. They didn't catch it last night. It was a tied ball game. All the money was on the line. And the Nationals lost the money. That's pretty much what happened. So, 2 failed pitches back to back. Luckily, they didn't give up 2 runs. They only gave up 1 run. And then lost 3-2.
Horrible.
Gio didn't have a good night. Most of the pitchers didn't really have a good night. The only good night was them, and we took them out too early and lost that game too. So we probably shouldn't have done that, but we did, and we lost. So on to next year for the Nationals.
Basically, well, I'm looking at some of the stats here, and I'm showing the seventh inning. All right. Okay. Oh, so you guys had? I thought it was walk off. I thought it was a walk off. It wasn't a walk off. I guess not.
No, it wasn't a walk off. What was a walk off?
No, I thought it was a walk off that it didn't happen in the night. Oh, it happened in the 7th. So there's okay. I see. Gotcha. Well, anywho, I don't really care. Shout out to the Orioles. Hopefully the Orioles could do what they have to do. Again, we have to talk about the Giants and we have to talk about the Cardinals. Because if you look, in 2010, I think it was 2009, it was the Cardinals. 2010, it was the Giants. Let me actually pull that up. But I know the Giants and the Cardinals are always in the NLDS. There we go. Who do you like?
Really, since the Nationals are no longer in it, I'm just going to be real. I'm going to ride with the O's.
Yeah.
They're the closest team to home.
Yeah, they lost yesterday.
So I'm going to ride with the O's. I mean, that just seems like the logical thing to do. The Giants are pretty good. I think the Cardinals probably have better bats right now.
Matt Carpenter.
Probably a lot better bats than St. Louis. So we'll see.
House prediction. I think San Fran.
San Fran.
We'll see what happens.
Yo, these girls are jacked.
They're pitching, a little lackluster, but
this CrossFit Games is serious. Wow.
Anywho,
and then we have any others.
We next really, we'll talk about basketball. It's the preseason.
What about Paul Pierce and Jakeem Noel?
A lot of trades happen in the off season. We got the truth in the city. You see me, I'm repping. Yeah, I'm a Washingtonian. So, but we got the truth in the city. We'll see what he do. He an old man now, so, he might just be an enforcer.
We'll see.
He's still dangerous with the ball in his hands at the end of the game.
We know who the most improved team is.
That always helps.
We'll talk about the most improved team. We're not talking about Cleveland. Let's sit back and relax and talk about the Knicks.
He's a Knicks fan.
And Phil Jackson has come to save the day. Shout out to Melo. Shout out to Calderon.
Shout out to Melo.
He stayed true to his heart. We about to get that ring.
Shout out
we will get that system. If you think about the Knicks last three, we have drafted Shumpert. We have drafted Claire Anthony early, which was a steal of the draft.
Was definitely a steal.
And Tim Hardaway Jr.
And Timmy was a steal too. I have to agree with that.
So we've done some great things.
You got both of them.
Should be a good season
later in the draft, and they should have been on the board.
Should be a good season. It's like
we'll see about the Knicks. The Knicks always,
we always look good.
They always look good.
We're the Redskins.
The Knicks are definitely like the Redskins.
Yeah,
for sure. Look good on paper
every year,
but they never get printed
every year.
But yeah. So we really here to talk about football. Because we're gonna get into that. That's what's going on right now.
Right now, week 6.
It's a lot going on in football. That's really why we here. That's why we want everybody to tune in. As the seasons change, we'll talk about those seasons.
There we go.
Just tune in. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. We're gonna try to do this fantasy thing. For most of the sports. But we don't really. We do fantasy football. We don't really necessarily do fantasy other sports.
Matter of fact,
we will talk about all sports though. So definitely tune in for any sport because we're going to be here talking about all of it.
If you do fantasy baseball, get a life. I don't have time to keep switching my lineups every week. Basketball, that's cool. Fantasy baseball, rotisserie, that's how y'all call it. Get a life. But we want to get into fantasy football. And this is the reason why I love the fantasy football is because it's like I have my own team and it's all numbers, and you play to win the game. You put your money up. Don't play no free fantasy leagues. We don't do free fantasy leagues. We in our league. It's the 5th annual Kiss the Baby League. Now, I must say, Delonte's been the best player.
Shout out to Carlton, man. Kiss the Baby, man. That's my dude, man. Damo and Mo and BB.
What up, Dre?
And Dre and Stacy and Dion and Tish. And man, everybody
in the league,
Carla, man, whoever played in our league, man, shout out, big up. We started the league trying to keep it moving, and it's been going strong, and it's getting better every year.
Very competitive.
This year is probably the most competitive year.
First place.
I'm not necessarily liking how it's going right now. Even though I'm not really doing bad, but it's kind of tough to score the second most points in the league and be a 500 team.
Be 2-3.
That's kind of crazy, right?
That's
be under 500. Nobody would think something like that, but things happen. The Seahawks put up a 2 against Washington.
So can we talk? No, we're gonna talk about this. So Monday night starts Seattle defense. The Redskins, the putrid Redskins that my Giants scored. I think they scored like a 22 on them.
All I needed was a 5.
Needed 5
from
points.
The Seahawks, people. All I needed was a 5.
So I called Tay up. And I'm like, yo, Tay.
That's it. Just a 5, Seahawks.
I said, Tay, you got this.
And I'm a Niners fan, so I really was feeling kind of a certain kind of way after I lost that game. Just because I'm a Niners fan, I have the Seahawks defense. Niners defense somebody picked them before I did.
They did. But he starts Seattle. And I'm calling him because he's playing Carlton. Carlton's in first place. He's 4-1. I'm 4-1. Delonte, I thought he's gonna be 3-2. He's gonna be 3-2. We're watching the game, and they're like, it's the fourth quarter, and the Russians score a touchdown. And I look, and he lost. He definitely took the L.
By 0.86 points.
Yeah, he definitely lost.
That's a tough one.
But he started Bishop Shanky, and I thought...
I did. Listen, you know what? You know what? I'm glad you said that. Because that's why we're here, people. When you listen to ESPN, and you listen to... NFL.com, and you listen to the coaches, and they come on the airwaves and the news, and they say, yeah, we about to feature this guy, and he's about to get more carries than
Bill
ever.
Belichick is.
Oh, and they come on there, and that's what they talk about. Oh, it's the coming out part. Matt Bird. It's the coming out party for Bishop Sankey, right?
Fantasy.
You know what? He puts up a 2.9, people.
Yeah.
29 total yards of offense. And he touched the ball 11 times that day. 11 times in 4 quarters. That's not a lot of time to touch the ball, and you're supposed to be featuring.
It's not.
So you know what he is today? Back on the waiver.
He has to put him on the waiver.
Belongs.
Shout out! You did pick up Andre Williams.
I'm back for this week, people.
And you definitely did.
I got Andre Williams, and I got
Oliver against Oakland.
I got both of them in my lineup this week off the waiver, but we're going to talk about that when we get into that segment.
We'll definitely talk about that later. So we got into the fantasy. Let's talk about the matchups for this week, because I know we're all excited. It's Wednesday. We love football.
Okay.
But before we get into that, we want to talk about the state of the NFL, because we have to talk about the state.
Yeah, we can do that. We got it.
She's gonna make a cameo. You can come and say hello.
Yeah. Little man got a doctor's appointment.
All right, we've been recording. I love you.
Free by 1. So
where you going? Where you going?
Yeah, if we could go like
okay.
Get there at 11.
Oh, come here. Tell them the best team. Tell them the best football team in the league, real quick. Who's the best football team in the whole league?
Giants.
There we go.
That's good. She's Patty's little girl. That's the only reason she said that.
She knows.
Anybody that's viewing this video knows that she's not a Giants fan.
A cup of ice for me and a cup of ice for TT, please.
Could you ask Uncle? Because I'm in front of the camera.
I got you,
Can you, Uncle?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to the daughter, my heart. Real precious. She couldn't wait to get on TV. I don't know where she gets it from.
It's all good.
But anyway, yeah.
We love the kids.
Make sure you raise your kids to like the same sports teams as you, because it won't work out well. You have to.
Well,
for 2 titles.
That wasn't the case in my household, but yeah, I grew up with Redskins and Cowboys, and I'm a Niners fan. So,
so let's get back into the state of the NFL. Now, we must talk about the No Fun League. Now, as you see, we have domestic violence, which is, we don't condone domestic violence, not one bit. Definitely don't condone that. But it's insane, though, how...
We shouldn't have went that far. We should have went. We should go. We should do domestic violence last.
Okay.
Let's talk about...
You want to stop it, then? Well, you got to stop it.
Nah, we ain't got to stop it because it can be still edited, nigga.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it could be edited. Right. That's why we doing it. Nah, because I told we could be edited, so
then I'm going to put out another song for the next segment. Come on, we're going to move into the next segment. Or we're going to move into the HGH. Yeah, I don't know why I started talking about this.
Well, the next segment, when we started talking about Kiss the Baby, that was the next segment.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we get back into the NFL?
So, all right. So we're gonna talk about the NFL. We didn't even really talk about Kiss the Baby. We just said we just talked about we called her. We gave everybody a shout out.
So we're gonna get back into this. So we talked about your game. So we could go back in. So we have to go back into who we playing this week. So this week I got Stacy, the money team, who be cashing these blank checks.
Ace check cashing, people.
Yeah, that's what we call him.
That's his real name. We
Now,
ask him.
my team is Addy's Army after my boy Bob's Cartel. Free Ward Boss. Bop, bop, bop. You know, my boy Bob Marley. Shout out to all the people out there. All my island people.
Definitely shout
holding
out.
it down.
Definitely shout out to all the island
All the
folks.
good gal them. Bop, bop, bop.
For
So
sure.
nah. But nah, Addy's Army's 4-1. It's probably the best team I actually have received. Like, God, that's bad English. No mind that. But it's the best team I drafted. I drafted very well this year. I had the best draft because I got the 8th pick, and that made if you get the 8th pick, you only got to wait a couple of more picks. So I got picked up Jimmy. Jimmy's hurt, but I picked up Timothy Wright this week. Start Tim Wright. The Patriots are back. You have to start Tim Wright. See Aaron Hernandez. When Brady has we has 2 tight ends up the seams. That gets everybody open. Edelman's going to start to eat. Amendola will start to eat. Watch out for Brandon LaFell. Brandon LaFell was just sitting on waiver wires. When Brady gets going...
That's what I'm talking about. You can skip it. Oh, you skip it. You go all the way.
I did.
You skip the whole never Drake.
Okay. Let's go back.
Funny,
But we can always edit it, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, this Drake, dude.
Alright. So we go back into our league. See, I don't think you would really want to care about our league. But we have to talk about our league. Let's talk about some of the trades.
I mean, well, yeah, we could do that. We could talk about the trades.
Okay.
We could talk about you gave your matchup, joint. I ain't even get mine. Your name and all that. So I'm the paper planes. No pun intended. And I actually got the commissioner this week. Me and Carlton's gonna hook up for probably 2nd or 3rd place because I'm like in the middle of the pack right now. But I know one thing. I'm bringing Peyton and my weapons, and he's gonna have to bring his A game because I mean, if he don't, he's gonna lose. You can never predict what's going to happen. But hopefully Julio and Antonio and all those guys, do their thing, and I can, get me a W and be happy. Shout out to OJ, my man Orange Julius. That's a bad dude. That is a bad.
And just to get off topic, if you're an NFL GM and you're looking for your next tight end, go to the local basketball court. You got Jimmy. You got one of the greatest ever, Tony Gonzalez. You also got Antonio Gates. Then you also have Mr. Julius Thomas. All basketball players. So
those dudes ball.
Yeah, and they ball out.
All of them ball.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantasy.
It's all about this fantasy. So let's get into. We want to get into the NFL. Talk about this. We missed out on a lot of the.
It's a lot going on.
We're gonna touch certain topics. We're not gonna really get into the legal ramifications because we're all about fun on this show. So we're not gonna get into that. But we want to talk about the suspensions and the NFL new drug policy. Now, I think it's sort of absurd that my homie Josh Gordon is suspended for 10 games. Now, I know he smoked some marijuana, but think about it. Shouldn't they allow the players to smoke the marijuana because all the head trauma, all the medical uses that they can utilize it for? I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of absurd, but I'm happy that Wesley's back. Orlando Scanger's back. Orlando, if you're watching this, Drea's just stop it, man. She's affecting your play. She putting mollies in your drink.
Yeah, no more popping mollies at the beach house, man.
Yeah, boy,
you got to be better than that. It's the off season. You got to get ready for training camp. You can't be popping mollies, man. It's training camp time. You're supposed to pop the mollies before training camp. Come on, man. You got to be better than that.
I got my
and
bro over
you too,
here.
Josh. Speaking while we're on this topic, let me get on Josh Gordon for just 1 second.
No, that's like the number
Because
one.
I actually really like Josh Gordon. But what Josh Gordon need to realize is you cannot get caught for the same thing 5 or 6
He had it in
different times
college.
in
In
your
college
life.
too.
He actually got it in high school first.
Wow.
He had a charge in high school for marijuana. He had 2 charges in college for marijuana. And now, of course, he's suspended. You know, he'll be back later in the year, but he had about 4 or 5 charges in the NFL for marijuana. Now, luckily, they're changing the policy on it. Eventually, they'll probably allow it because, honestly, it's going to help these guys eventually in the long
CTE,
run.
man, killing these
Because
dudes.
the CTE is real and it's serious, and it's a lot of people that's not letting their children play football because of it. But I love it. I played the game, and if I have a son, he's probably going to be able to play the game too,
My
and
son's not playing.
that's just what it is.
My son wouldn't play football. We're playing soccer and baseball. You know why? They get the most money, and I ran track. I played football one game. I got hit. It wasn't for me. I like to watch the game. I'm honest. I don't need to get hit. I'm not Percy. I can analyze this, but yeah, definitely. Josh needs to get together. But let's talk about, and we're gonna get into that. Honey, go bring me that towel, please. You're gonna talk. Go give me the yellow towel. I'll give my brother a little shout out real quick.
Yeah, where that thing?
Cause we don't like the Ravens. I'm sorry, Ravens fans. We're not, but we like you Redskins. So we have a towel. Now I'm not a Steelers fan,
It does not have Ebola.
and it doesn't have Ebola.
Doesn't have Ebola.
Doesn't have Ebola.
Despite what the Jags might think, doesn't have Ebola.
Shout out to the PR man looking for a new job at Jacksonville Jaguars. But no, we talk about him because we want to talk.
Hold that thing up. Show him how many is on it. Show him how many is on it. Show him. Let me show you.
Yeah, take that camera.
6 of them.
Take
6
that.
of them bad boys.
Take that camera.
All right, but let's talk about
That was a
Le'Veon
terrible
Bell and LeGarrette Blount. Come on, we talk. I gotta go. We talking about the show.
I want to talk about sports.
Okay, what you want to say about the sports?
Okay. Sports is a famous sport.
That is very
Even
true.
soccer. Even baseball. Even dodgeball.
Dodgeball? Dodgeball's not a sport, honey.
Oh.
It's a movie though, a funny one too. Have you seen it?
And my brother played football.
Oh, shout out to Mr. Michael Hamilton. You don't gotta get in the camera.
He's coming.
You gotta get in the camera.
He's a
And
bad
shout out to
dude.
Seven.
Shout out to
coming.
Mr. Ellie.
Mr. Ellie. Who's that?
Missy Ellie.
Missy Ellie? Missy Elliott.
My name is Ellie.
Oh, I know your name. Okay, can talk to you later. We're gonna finish our show.
I want to finish
You
it.
was already in it. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Alright. Like I said, this show, if we have just my family.
This is real, man.
We just-
I told y'all in the welcome that it's real. This is real. Like everything that's going on right now is real. This is not for play.
There's no edits.
This is real life, man. And you know, we just here talking sports. That's what we doing. We just 2 dudes
We want to talk about Bell and
that
Blunt.
love sports.
No.
We can definitely get back to these 2
So
guys
you get caught smoking marijuana
together.
So that's like the president and the vice president going on Air Force One together. You both can't travel in the same car.
Can't do it.
Now, Le'Veon Bell, his comments after he got caught was, and I quote, "I was high 2 hours ago. It's wore off." First of all, you admitted.
It's printed though.
You admitted to that. If you pull up Le'Veon's player card and tell me that dude doesn't smoke. Just pull it up. I'm not gonna pull it up for you. Just pull up his card. And Blunt, we know Blunt. Blunt been knocking dudes out since he played in Oregon. So
slapping.
And his last name is Blunt. So he can't help it. He was destined for greatness.
He really was. He really was.
Like Garrett, really. LeGarrette Blount goes into. You're not going to give LeGarrette Blount a job. You're not going to trust LeGarrette Blount around your kids, around any money, loose chains. You know what I mean? LeGarrette Blount.
But I tell you where you will trust him. You will trust him in the red zone when you need a touchdown.
Yes, you will.
That's all he cares about.
Definitely right.
Smoke blunts, score touchdowns.
There we go.
I ain't mad at him.
There we go. So yeah, we talked about that. We want to talk about the HGH. Now, the HGH have really been in, let's say, about the last 10 years. From Mark McGuire to Sean Merriman. We talk about LaRon Landry. Now, we know LaRon was on something, clearly. LaRon Landry, so many different players. Ryan Braun.
Man, HGH has affected all of our sports. All of our major pro sports, except basketball, because they don't test for all that stuff in basketball.
KD can use it. Shout out to KD. What's good?
Definitely shout out to KD. C. Pleasant. We here.
Yeah, he'll be in the Wizards in 2 years.
You know what it is.
Remember, we said it first, or second, or third, but it's recorded.
But a lot of those guys, man, that with the HGH, a lot of them got caught. Some of them didn't. But, what we really here to talk about as far as HGH is probably somebody you might not think we're going to mention. But tonight, we're talking about Tiger Woods.
Yes, that's people. Tiger Woods.
Yes, people. Tiger Woods. We're going to talk about Tiger Woods tonight.
So
we're going to touch on a lot of different things. But we want y'all to think about what we about to tell y'all. There's a lot of deep information you about to get about your boy Tiger. Now, I love Tiger Woods. Never been a really big golf fan. And I will admit, when I saw a black man on the golf course winning, I was definitely proud.
I ain't never swung a golf club in my life.
I didn't think about swinging a golf club really until I seen Tiger Woods. So I do thank him for that, because he actually is a pioneer for at least
79 victories
in the last 25 years. In the last quarter, he's definitely been a pioneer for not just black people, just any people. You know what I'm saying? So love him for that. But on the flip side,
he has 11 Player of the Year awards. That's like 11 MVPs. But
on the flip side, 11. That's awesome.
That's a lot of numbers.
MVPs. He got numbers. A lot of money won and money spent and crazy stuff happened. Messing with messing with the chicks at the diners. You know how Tiger goes. Tiger was messing with the chicks at Denny's. The chick at Silver Diner, the chick at IHOP, man, he had him. You can't say he was looking for a rich one, because he was local to the bug. He had all the local joints, but but man, Tiger hasn't won a major since 2008. Now he has I want to say he has about 13 victories.
Yeah.
Since 2008, in some tournaments, but no majors. No majors. Now, I want y'all to think about something, because in 2007 we got introduced to Balco. ESPN was blowing up this big Balco thing, and they had the big law book that came out and had all the information in it about all these different people, and A-Rod, people lied. Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, all the names, everybody, Clemens,
Sammy Sosa.
They all did, Sammy.
Sosa.
But it is what it is. That era came and went. But people forget that Tiger Woods, during for about a 10-year period, was not losing any tournaments. Like, he was winning every tournament. If you saw Tiger Woods on the map, I forgot which golfer said this, but there is a golfer that did say, when you looked at the tournament and you saw Tiger Woods' name, you thought second about being in the tournament. So that means you expect him to win. So
Yep.
for about 10 years, that's what he was doing. He was winning every tournament.
Amazing.
Then he all of a sudden got hurt.
Fell off the plane.
Right? Maybe all of a sudden got hurt. Like, okay, Tiger got hurt. Cool. You know, everybody gets hurt. You know, you're swinging a golf club and you're swinging it with extreme force. So, okay, something happened, whatever. But then we find out that his physician is down with Balco. Right? Okay. So that's not, okay, it's a coincidence. Okay, his physician cool with the
Smoke
Balco
is
people.
fire.
So, 2007, 2008 time period.
US Open. That's
what was going on in the sports world as far as golf. And a lot of people, I mean, they speculated about Tiger, but I think because he plays golf, he has a shield over him a little bit more because you know how much money the PGA made when Tiger Woods showed up.
Yeah,
we're not going to even talk about that. We're not going to talk about the money they make just because Tiger Woods is on the ballot. You could charge a little extra because Tiger Woods is in your tournament.
Tiger Woods had kids in the ghetto, in the hood, watching golf. Me included. I would never watch golf, but I just watched Tiger.
So, 2007, 2008, man, was a pivotal time, and like I said, they tried to link them a little bit, here and there, but it just fizzled out. But what people fail to realize is Tiger hasn't been healthy since.
His back,
and
knees.
If you look at any athlete that's ever come
A-Rod,
off of the HGH and the steroids and performance enhancing drugs, PEDs,
never been the same.
When you think about it, once they came off of it, most of them got hurt. So it's not a coincidence that Tiger Woods all of a sudden started getting hurt. There's no coincidence about that. How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
So just think about that, people. We want to leave y'all with that before we, get into our big closing. Yeah, Tiger Woods. Probably didn't think we'd be talking about that.
Tiger Woods, Mr. Tiger Woods. So just look it up. Look on Wikipedia, Google it. It's, you know what I mean? You can't always believe what you see. Sometimes you got to investigate yourself. And that's when we get into our next fantasy football segment. But we're going to let y'all go. Be right back at y'all. I'm going to do a little intermission. We'll be right back. So let's stop it there. Play some music.
Well, I don't really need to stop it, man. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to stop it. Because of the shoot, we can edit the joint. So you only got to stop.
I know what you can do. Do something. Yeah, the joint gonna be alright. So you talked for 30 minutes already.
We did. I haven't really. We probably talked about. We probably got about 21 good minutes. It don't really matter how long it is, whole time, nigga. We just want to talk, and then we'll just cut it.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
And there you have it. You play to win the game. and if you're trying to win your fantasy game each week, you want to come and talk to us. What we're going to do right now is we're going to break down every game. We're going to break down the shining pine, not starter sitting, but the shining pine. The players that you need to start to get your fantasy victory, to get those bragging rights. So you're not scared. Because I know when y'all lose, y'all don't want to watch SportsCenter or anything of that nature. Because you're going to keep seeing a guy go over and over. When my team lose, I ain't watching TV till Tuesday. So we have our first matchup. We have Indianapolis versus Houston. Now, we have Indianapolis. They're the favorites. I like Indianapolis to go ahead and take it.
Yeah,
So go ahead and take it.
They're 3.5 favorite right now, and I don't think that.
Hi again, and I just want to talk about soccer. Soccer is like a kind of sport that you kick a ball and you win a score. And then you get
Well,
a
we didn't cover
trophy.
soccer, so we're covering it now.
Shout out to Arsenal.
You're now getting soccer.
And you see this chocolate bar? It's a wrapper. Is it epic? See?
You said it's epic?
See? Is it cool? See?
All right. Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Oh, you want to see my sock?
All right.
And look what I do when I put my finger.
So play.
All right.
So we
Bye,
broke the
everybody
games
in
up,
North
right?
Carolina.
Okay. So you're going to talk about Indianapolis. Go ahead.
Oh,
But you know the players that you're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's the start of the week. Tomorrow night game 1 of week 6. Got Indy at Houston. Should be a pretty good game. I think I'm gonna roll with Indy on a short week. Got Andrew Luck going against Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think I'll side with Andrew Luck for that one.
He's number one in fantasy.
Definitely is number 1 in fantasy. So we got some shine folks from the game. I say Amar should get some shine tomorrow night. He's been having some good games here recently. He had a good game against me in fantasy, that's for sure. But Amar should have a big game. You can always start Andy. I mean, he's a must start in all formats. He's number 1 quarterback in fantasy football right now. So if you have him, he should definitely be in your starting lineup, and definitely against the Houston Texans. You really don't want to start anybody from Houston. I mean, you could take a flyer. In the deeper league, you might want to play DeAndre Hopkins. He's a decent receiver, big play capability. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick might get lucky and toss someone, and he might go up and get it. So, he might get lucky, and that might happen.
Yeah, big play.
I wouldn't say that he's a must start, but if you got him and you need him, some bye weeks, he might be somebody you might want to take a look at.
Gotta start Aaron Foster. Don't be like me and bench Aaron, even though he said he don't like to play on a Thursday. You gotta start him.
You definitely have to start Aaron Foster if he's active. It is a short week, so if they say he's a game time decision, if he's active, he should be in your lineup. So we got some pine people too. Some people you just need to sit down.
Trent Richardson.
I
don't play him.
He definitely needs to sit
coach
down.
him.
That guy, he doesn't cut it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he doesn't cut it.
Keem Nicks.
You sit those guys. Keem Nicks is 7th in receiving on the Colts. But he said he's the best receiver in football, but he's 7th in receiving on his own team. So it's really no need to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, we're not gonna really discuss him.
Like Richard Sherman say, he's not important.
Mediocre.
So yeah, like we say, we're rolling with Indy tomorrow night. Yeah, man. So
next up, we got Jacksonville, Tennessee, which I love. This is a fantasy game. If you want to get big points, you're gonna play Jacksonville and Tennessee. Cause you know why? Putrid teams don't play defense.
They don't do that.
I'm starting everybody. I'm even starting Blake Bortles if I get the opportunity.
Not a bad start.
Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson. Remember the name Allen Robinson. He's
Allen's
got
also
the
not a bad start.
most targets in the past 2 weeks for Jacksonville.
He has.
Again, they got I can see Jacksonville winning this game in Tennessee. Tennessee's coming off a letdown. I mean, you just lost at home to Brian Hoyer by 25, and they came back with 25 points. The greatest comeback in NFL history. They just got Frank Wright. So I'm not betting Tennessee. I'm not betting Tennessee to come out big. Only 2 players I'm starting on Tennessee are Kendall Wright, because he's getting targets, and Delaney Walker. Everybody else, I don't touch him. Shanky, Green, I don't touch him. And for Jacksonville, I would even start Tennessee defense off the whim that it can either go away. It's either
they're at home, so they definitely have that working for them.
To be honest, Blake Bortles didn't look too bad against Pittsburgh last week.
He did.
He did all right. So
that would be risky.
Definitely risque. Definitely risque. So who we're definitely not starting, as we mentioned, the pine of the week, and will stay on the week, is Bishop Shanky and Sean Green.
Those guys.
Yeah, you can't start them. You can't play with them.
Can't play with them.
Now, the deep sleeper I have in this game, and shout out to Mr. Storm Johnson, because he did follow us on the Twitter. Again, it's RTNSports. RTNSports. That's at RTNSports. But yeah, Storm Johnson is coming up to be a fantasy sleeper. Toby Gerhart hasn't really won the job, and we all know I'm a diehard Michigan fan. What up, Liz? I know you're watching this. I'm a diehard Michigan fan, so we got to make sure that Denard Robinson is not running the ball. He's not touching the ball. Got to watch out for Storm Johnson. He's a deep sleeper in that game. We can move on to the next game.
Baltimore and Tampa. So that should be a decent game. Baltimore going down to the Sun. It should be pretty decent. I think I'm gonna roll with the Ravens on this one. I mean, they have some weapons in Tampa. I mean, they do have some weapons. I think that Flacco will outplay Glennon. Not really a big Glennon guy.
I like Tampa in this game.
They have a shot. I mean, they do have a shot. They are at home, and like I said, they do have weapons. If Vincent Jackson's on the field, he's always somebody to worry about. That's for sure. If I had to pick some shine players from that game, definitely put Vincent on the shine list. Start Vincent Jackson. You might want to start Doug Martin. Actually, that's not a bad move for this week. The Ravens defense, as you can see, is not as good as they used to be. So he's not a bad move for this week, especially if you have him, in your lineup. Play him. As far as the Ravens go, I don't know. I mean, you really taking the whim playing anybody on the Ravens. I tell you who you can play. Mr. Steve Smith Sr., you have him. You can play him this week.
I'm debating on not playing.
You can play him this week.
Debating.
He's debating. If you have options, it's one thing. But if he's one of your best players, you can play him.
I got Jordy.
He should do well.
And Cordell. We'll get into that later.
So what? What's up?
The Pine. Who's the Pine? Who you can't start?
Pine players in that game, man. I'll probably say Tampa defense. We can start there. Tampa's defense not that good.
I would also say that
I don't know what's going on.
Ravens
I think Levy would have a better defense than that.
Yeah, personnel.
Right now he doesn't. He'll maybe have
Mark Barone from Alabama is horrible.
I wouldn't start anybody out of Baltimore's backfield.
You don't know who's gonna go off.
You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they got like 4 running backs, so Pine those guys.
Yeah,
'Cause-
all of them.
Yeah, because I mean,
They can make
you
it
don't know.
lucky.
You might get lucky. I mean, if you have to play one, you know, you might want to play Taliaferro. You might want to play for a set. But other than that, you know, you're playing Russian roulette. So I mean, if you don't have them, good. If you do, good luck.
You know, I have a deep sleeper for this match. Just a real deep sleeper. Lewis Murphy scored touchdowns in each of the last two games, and I mean, Mike Evans is out. He's out for a while, so. All right. So let's get into our next game. The next game, which is Denver, and the putrid Jets. Now, let's talk about now I'm a Giants fan, and we always say Jets fans are Giants fans who couldn't get season tickets.
Wow.
That's how we call it. Yeah. We have no respect for the putrid Jets. Shout out, yeah. We don't. Nah. If you find people that don't trust, you can never trust a Jets fan. In my whole life, you can't trust them.
Man.
But anywho, we got Denver. We got Denver. Okay, we have Mr. Peyton. Like when I see the Jets and Peyton Manning, you know what I think about? 700 yards passing and 30 touchdowns because Peyton Manning is the starter of the week.
They only needs 5 people. The number is 5 to tie. 6 to be the number 1 man in passing touchdown history. So, for you enthusiasts, I'm calling it right now. Peyton Manning goes for 6 touchdowns.
Must start
on Sunday.
And you know, there's 2 things that pop
Start
up.
all of your Broncos.
Everybody.
The Broncos will shine on Sunday.
And let us not forget.
They're favored by 8.5, people.
Let's not forget.
I'm sorry. They're favored by 9. So if they're favored by 9,
they're covering.
They're going to cover that.
They're covering.
So start all your Broncos. You want to do that. You definitely want to do that. Start Ronnie Hillman.
Start Ed McCaffrey.
Ronnie Hillman is going to be awesome.
Start Rod Smith if you have him.
Hey, Broncos, play with them. Now,
but you know the thing that pop up,
your Pine people, it's simple. The Pine is simple for this game.
The Jets.
Your Jets. Anybody you have from the Jets,
Ivory,
put them on
Decker.
the Pine. I mean, you might get some garbage at the last 2-3 minutes at the other game.
Just take it.
I mean, if that's what you got to do, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But other than that, pine them.
You got to pine them.
Not worth it.
But you know what? You know, this is why I'm going to back up Tay's last comments because I'm a conspiracy theorist, you know. I always put previous experiences. Like sometimes I don't even look at numbers. Like rivalry games, you start them. Games where they have extra incentives. Where is the game being played at on Sunday, Tay?
The game's being played in New Jersey.
And MetLife is in Jersey, right?
It is.
And what happened to Peyton the last time he was in MetLife?
The last 3 times he was in MetLife.
He beat the Giants, so he beat us last year. Then. He beat us last year, but
he didn't have a good game.
He didn't, because you started him. You're right. 43-8. Eli's home. Peyton has something to prove. Break the record. 6 TDs. Get it over with. The running back is out. Don't be surprised if. Shout out to Carlton too for making a trade for Niles Davis for Demaryius Thomas. Definitely poo-poo platter.
I know you hit the button, big bro. I was with you when you did it, so I know you hit the button. But you shouldn't have hit the you shouldn't have hit the button.
You never trade a backup. Never trade a backup for a perennial program.
Never push the goddamn button.
For the sleeper, it's C.J. Anderson. He's the backup to Hillman. Again, we don't know who's going to get the ball. We don't know who John Fox. He likes to put the 2 running backs.
Start Ronnie Hillman. If you have Ronnie Hillman, you start Ronnie Hillman.
I mean, that was
Ronnie Hillman is
just a sleeper though.
He can play. He's way out the backfield, and you know what Peyton like to do. He like to throw the ball. So if you have Ronnie Hillman or you need a running back, you start him.
Just wait.
All right, we're gonna get back into the next game. New Detroit and Minnesota. Woo!
Division game.
You take this because you know who I want to talk about.
It's a division game. A lot of division games this week, actually.
Yeah, a lot of them.
But that's a big division game. You know, what's going to happen with 81? You know, Megatron. You know, that's the big question. He probably wants to play. Probably shouldn't play. I hope he doesn't play personally because I'm playing against him.
And I'm starting
but it's all good. I mean, if he's on the field, he's on the field. That's 81. 81 is the man. So if he's on the field, you know, shine. You already know. That's the probably the best guy in the business that's been doing it for the last decade. You know, definitely like the game. I don't know. I don't really know who to go, man. I hate picking Detroit because Detroit always sells us out. They find ways to lose games, like they did last week against Buffalo. They just find ways to lose games. So I don't know. It's a tough one. They're in Minnesota, so I don't know. I think I'm.
Bridgewater's back.
It's going to be tough to decide with
Bridgewater's back.
With Detroit if Teddy's on the field. So
yeah. Shout out to Teddy.
Am I maybe you might consider it an upset special. I'm rolling with the Vikes. Looking for Cordell to have a big day. Who's also
the ball.
On the shine list.
Give him the ball.
He requested the ball.
He need the ball in his hands.
I think Nova's going to give him the ball.
He's going to get the ball.
So, if you got Cordell,
start him.
Shine. Definitely.
I'm starting him.
Shine.
I'm starting him. You know, also, I'm starting on Detroit that I started last week that I told you about, Golden Tate. Start Golden Tate.
Golden Tate has been actually putting together a
really good season.
I mean, he's one thing. He's consistent. He was consistent in Seattle. He's still consistent. So he's definitely going to be there. If he don't be nothing else. But Detroit favored by 3. You know, that's not a big spread. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna roll with the Vikes. I'm taking Teddy. Teddy looked good in his first game. Detroit's defense is tough, but you know, if Teddy's healthy, I'm rolling with Teddy.
Golden Tate has 31 receptions for 415 yards and 1 TD this season, and no one's talking about him. So you got to start Golden. My deep sleeper in this matchup.
Stafford can shine too. We have Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford can shine,
Stafford
but
shine.
Stafford belongs with Cutler. They can go out there and throw for 300 yards and 5 interceptions. At the end of the day, it's not gonna really help. But I had Stafford win, yeah. But yeah, I like George Wynn. George Wynn, yeah.
That's a sleeper. You've been talking about.
I've been talking about George Wynn all day.
So George, I hope you're listening because if you go out there Sunday and do what Bishop Sankey did this past week, you know where you're going to be, right? Back on the waivers.
I gotta go for this guy. You know what I mean? He's undrafted, out of Cincinnati, coming from the practice squad. I like to see guys like that. Guys who are on the practice squad, you want to play these guys in fantasy. You know why? Because a lot of these guys, when they get their money, they don't really want to play hard anymore. But these guys are probably there fighting for their livelihood. And then the result, you want guys who are fighting for their livelihood on your fantasy football team. So we're gonna, and also we gotta start Cordell. Cordell's, he's a playmaker. Get him the ball. I just traded in my league.
That's a shine player.
Yeah, I just traded Deshaun Jackson, Wes Walker, and Terrence West. Shout out Dre for the dumb trade for Chris Ivory and Cordell Patterson. But in our league, we get return yards, so Cordell's worth his price in gold. So, but yeah, move on to New England.
All right. Next up, man, we're gonna talk about New England Buffalo. We got New England coming in at a 3-point favorite. They're in Buffalo. You know, it's a first place game.
Wow.
if you can believe that, you know, we have 3-2 teams. And you wouldn't think that you would be talking about
fighting
the
Ortons.
Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots at the top of the AFC East. So interesting. But I'm sure you've seen what happened last Monday night. Tom went ham.
Definitely did.
You know,
and
went for 302 touchdowns.
I called it.
Tim
Wright.
They did. He did. He did call it.
Tim Wright.
So, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, man. Kyle Orton played well. He had 300 yards, too. So, he played
high
well.
Scoring.
And he had a comeback.
It's a high-scoring game.
He had a comeback, too.
High-scoring game this one. I'm not starting none of those defense. It's going to be a barn burner.
I wouldn't tell you to start any other defenses. Shine. You can give Tom some shine. If you got Tom in your lineup, start Tom. Tom deserves shine for the week. Fred Jackson.
Always.
Love Fred. You got Fred in your lineup. Fred needs to get some shine in your lineup this week. Fred might be in line for a big week. Spiller's averaging like 2.8 yards a carry right now. They got some big boys on that front seven for New England. If you got Fred Jackson, Freddie needs to be in your lineup, shining. Now, Panning, like I said, 2.2 yards a carry, so we're going to have to start with DJ Spiller. 2.2 yards a carry, brother. Can't play with him.
Can't coach.
Put him on your bench. Pine time for CJ Spiller. And you know who you can sit beside him? Sammy Watkins.
Pine?
And you know why?
You're crazy.
Sammy Watkins?
Because
Sammy Watkins is playing against Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick always takes the best receiver off the field at all times. So if you have him in your lineup and you need to play him, be very careful, because I told you here that it's very likely that he should have been on the punt.
Definitely.
But I'm gonna roll with New England in that game.
Cover the 3-point spread.
I think Tom will have another big game. I'm not really sold on New England. I think New England is one of them teams that's
Mikey, turn it down
on the drop.
We're recording.
Then they
Mikey, turn it down. We're recording. Why would you
on
do
the
that?
drop.
Turn it all the way down. You know I'm recording the video. Stop it. Mikey, turn it down. Why would you even turn it up? You know we're still recording. Anyway, you can go back. You can edit that. Go ahead.
What the hell are you talking about?
You're talking about you picked New England to cover.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to roll with New England. They should cover the 3 points. We'll see. But we're going to roll with them. But Buffalo, if they come to play, I don't know.
Should be a good
It's
game.
a division game, first place. So I don't know.
We'll see. The next game we got Carolina and Cincinnati. Expecting an ugly, low-scoring game in this game. I don't really like him, especially with AJ being out.
I like these kind of games.
Yeah, they say
that's messed up. What happened to AJ today?
Yeah, AJ's hurt.
AJ gets carted off the field earlier at practice today. That's tough.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. So
carted off the field. It's one thing if you limp off the field, but he got carted off the field. Normally, if he's carted off the field, that's not a good look.
Pick up Sanu if he's out available.
If you have Sanu,
you have to start him.
You might want to give him some shine this week, because the last time AJ wasn't in the lineup, he went for 15 plus double-digit numbers.
Yeah,
so
we need that.
2 weeks. AJ wasn't there. Sanu was the man. So very likely that the same thing happens here. So if you have him, shine. If you don't, he's gonna wire you. You might want to go grab him.
You may want to go scoop him up. I do like Cincinnati to cover. I'm not a huge fan of Carolina. I like Calvin Benjamin. I'll start Calvin Benjamin every week because he's a matchup problem. He's going to be the next Megatron. Showed me enough. He's nice.
But he is a Seminole, so I love him.
He's 6'5" and like 230. You see the catches he's been making all year. Just pull up his touchdown catches. But I do like the Cincinnati defense in this game. I would start the Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, because they're gonna chase Cam around
Plus they
all
lost.
afternoon.
They just
Nigga believe that. Cam is a big athletic guy, but they have a lot of big athletic guys. I don't know if Burfict going to be on the field, but if he is, I'm definitely rolling with Cincinnati because that dude is awesome. If he's not on the field, the shadow Cam, I don't know. He is Cam, so Cam.
Yeah, Cam's definitely. a must. I start Cam because you just never know. The running option is always there.
If you got him in your lineup, he's your number 1 or number 2 quarterback. Depending on who your number 1 is, if you're on the back, or if your number 1 has a bad matchup, why not start Cam? I mean, he is Cam, so if they're blitzing, he might make a few plays, and those plays could be big plays, and we all need big plays.
Yeah, big plays. Big plays equals big points. That's
who you
what
putting on the pine in that game?
The Pine. Now the Pine I'm putting on this game would be a tough game. Players that I'm not starting. I mean, we're not starting Jermaine Gresham. You know that.
Yeah, definitely don't want to start that guy. What about you starting anybody in Carolina's backfield?
No. Not Stewart.
So if you got Reeves, probably don't want to play.
I don't want to play Reeves. Reeves let me down. I mean, I didn't start him, but he didn't look good.
Probably don't want to play that guy.
He didn't look good. He sits on the pine. For Cincinnati, really, I can't say sit Gio. Gio always is in a passing game.
It's tough to sit Gio.
But you know what? They may have Luke on them.
It's very possible that
they may have Luke.
Because you're going to have him in your lineup this week, but temper your expectations. He might not do as well as he normally does.
So, that's what he's supposed to do. I mean, I don't know. I like Gio because he offers that passing threat, but we'll have to find out about that.
If he's in your lineup, man, you got to roll with him.
You got to start him.
Yeah, you got to roll with him.
Next, we got Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Interesting game. They actually got Cleveland favorite. Mr. Antonio Bryant. And I got Le'Veon Bell, so I always expect those are probably the best wide receiver.
I call him Antonio Bryant, man.
I call him
Antonio Brown.
I said Brown?
I said Bryant.
Oh, my fault. Antonio Brown. Antonio, my
Straight
fault.
disrespected you, Antonio.
I did.
Antonio, that's what I call you. Because you go smooth, brother.
Man, that's like every week.
Shine. I'm telling you, you're in my lineup every week.
I may say that
Joe Hayden. Shout out to Joe, Joe from Lago, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Joe, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I rock with you, Joe, but when it comes to Antonio, man, I don't know what it is. But the dude has your number, man.
Definitely does.
So I'm starting Antonio. I don't know what y'all defense gonna do, Joe, but y'all might have something. He might not play well. I don't know. But if you look at the numbers, he must be in your lineup.
Yeah, you got to start Antonio.
Definitely.
Antonio's coming one of these players that are just matchup proof. I think him and Le'Veon Bell are the most underrated receiver running back combination in the league.
Gotta shine. You got it. If that guy's in your lineup,
as soon as he got drafted, I knew he was a fantasy.
He's a must start.
Called this guy and was like, Le'Veon Bell's a fantasy football star. Like, you just know some player like this fantasy. It's not a trend. It's a lifestyle. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Shout out to FanDuel. Play FanDuel. It's great. I'm trying to get him to play FanDuel. He'll probably play it, but
I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I play FanDuel. It's fun. There's a lot of chance to it, but yeah, we definitely always are starting. Always starting with Le'Veon Bell.
Antonio and Le'Veon is really no question. The only time you don't start them is on the bye week.
Now I do like people. Don't be this fantasy player who picks up Travis Benjamin and plays him this week. He's not a go-to guy for them. He scored 2 touchdowns last week. They got the only receiver that you really want on this team, besides Josh Gordon, would be Andrew Hawkins because he gets the most targets. He had a lot of targets last week, and Brian Hoyer likes him.
He's going 8 for 8 for about 80 a week. So
80 a week.
If you need a
PPR,
receiver, especially in PPR, if you need a receiver, you might want to have Andrew Hawkins in your lineup this week. He's a great dude to have off the wire, especially if you got bye, it's bye week, stuff like that. So if you got Andrew or you need a receiver, go get that guy because he's definitely gonna get it done. He's been getting it done all year. So I mean, the only reason he wouldn't get it done is if he decides to stink up the joint.
Yeah, I'm not.
So I will say this because of that, he might want to give Hoyer some shine.
Maybe
another guy deep waiver. He had 300 yards last week.
Sleeper, major sleeper.
You know, so if you need a quarterback, he probably is on the waiver. I'm sure he's available with a high percentage in a lot of leagues and a lot of different companies. But if you need a quarterback against the Steelers, I don't know about that defense. They're a little old. So Andrew Hawkins, Brian Hoyer might be another 300-yard day.
Yeah, I'm not starting Ben Tate in this game. He's on the pine.
Pine that guy.
Yeah, I'm not starting Big Tate. I'm not starting Jordan Cameron either. I mean, he hasn't done anything yet.
Nothing. And you might want to pine the Browns defense if you got those guys, because you know they're typically pretty strong at home.
Yeah, definitely.
But today they actually lost their interior lineman, Phil Taylor.
Oh wow.
Big Phil is a force in the middle. Not really sure what happened to Phil, but I know Phil is out. I do know that much, that Phil won't be playing. You know, shout out to Phil from the area. You know, so you know, if you got that Browns D, you might want to pine those guys if you're thinking about playing them at home, just because they're at home.
Yeah. And I have Pittsburgh to cover the spread.
Rolling with the Steelers. Rolling with Antonio. I'm thinking Antonio's gonna have another big
nice
game.
game. There's
no reason to think otherwise.
Yeah, every week, and that's Ben's favorite guy. Also, deep sleeper Heath Miller. They've been getting him more involved in the offense. Every year, Heath is on the waivers. I don't know what it is, but Heath's going to give you 6 touchdowns and 600 yards, and like I said,
he's consistent.
Those 1 point could make or break you.
Deeper leagues,
definitely.
People on the bye, not a bad start.
Jimmy's hurt. Jimmy's on the bye, so not a bad feeling. We got Green Bay and Miami. This game is tricky. It's a very tricky game, and here's the reason why.
Very.
Who is the coach of Miami? Joe Philbin. Joe Philbin used to be the offensive coordinator for Green Bay. Again, extra incentive to play well. I have Aaron Rodgers. I have to start him. But I may not start Jordy. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it because Miami, remember, they had 2 weeks. They're coming off a bye. And they've been running. Lamar Miller has been playing phenomenal.
That guy's on the shine list.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Tannehill, he's putrid, but he played good. But you know what? It was against Oakland
this week.
It was against Oakland. So,
I put that guy on the pine list.
You know what? It was against Oakland. Oakland doesn't count as an NFL team, so.
So if you got Lamar in your lineup,
you may want to start
this guy.
him.
You might want to start him.
That's tricky though, man.
Playing at home against Green Bay.
I can't start him over Arian.
Green Bay's defense not that well. I mean, if you got those guys, and I mean Arian might not even play. So you know you got a plan B. Some people don't have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B, Lamar Miller needs to be in your lineup.
Definitely.
Randall Cobb.
Must start.
That guy shine.
Must start.
He has been awesome. He's been awesome this year. Jordy's been having an excellent year. I mean, Jordy's Jordy, but
Jordy's Jordy.
Randall Cobb,
sneaky quick.
Randall Cobb has been killing. Randall Cobb has about 6 or 7 touchdowns already this year. So you got Randall Cobb in your lineup. Shine. Eddie Lacy finally came to the party.
Bling bling.
Finally came to the party.
He's here.
Welcome to the party, Eddie Lacy. So if you got that guy, definitely put him in the shine. That guy should be in the top 6 or 7. I don't know where he is right now, but he's not there right now, but he should be.
Yeah.
So welcome back.
Out of Trent, out of Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy is the best back from Alabama, hands down. Now, who I'm not starting and who I don't like as a player, because I had him last year, and he's a one-trick pony. One-trick pony. Mr. Mike Wallace. He don't like Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace is...
I loved Mike Wallace when he was a Steeler.
Yeah, Steelers, but not anymore.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah. Can't start Mike Wallace.
Pine that guy.
Definitely pine him.
If you got the Fins D, the Fins D actually plays well at home, but I have them on my pine list too because Mr. Rogers is coming to town.
But we'll see,
And
man.
you know, when Mr. Rogers is in your neighborhood, you might get schooled. But, I mean, hey, if you got him in your lineup,
You got to pick him.
you might got to play him. So, hey, you know, it's dicey anyway because we're going to tell you all kinds of stuff, but ultimately you still going to do what you want to do anyway. But, you know, don't tweet us talking about,
No hate mail.
you told us not to do this and we did it anyway and we lost because then we're going to be like, we told you so.
Definitely. We also want to talk about. I want to get into the next game. So we got Green Bay. Like this game bothers me. I keep looking at it, and they have Green Bay, but wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins won the game.
I wouldn't be either. They were at home, like you said, coming off the
bye.
bye week. But Mr. Rogers is hot.
He is hot.
He's been hot.
Yeah,
so
right.
I mean, you know, that's my only thing.
And his October stats?
They're going to have to do a lot to cool off Mr. Rogers. As their defense is not that hot. I mean, they're decent, but you know they're at home. You know, South Beach, but nah.
South Beach, I love it.
I probably wouldn't. I do too, but
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't play. Wouldn't play those guys. Not against Mr.
Shout out to all the
Rogers.
females in the 305. Let's see,
The shout out to the 305 period, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome down there. Shout out to the Hurricanes, too. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next game, which is San Diego and the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders, like Oakland, if you're an Oakland Raiders fan,
This is another one of those Broncos
Jets game.
Jets kind of matchup.
But hold on, here's the only thing about it. It is a rivalry game. But the way Phila's been playing and the way Oakland is, I think I may be able to get some burn for
Man,
Oakland.
start all your superchargers.
Everybody.
Go Chargers, go. Start all
And-
your superchargers. Phillip playing like the MVP right now.
Yes, he definitely is.
I'm telling you, you better put Brandon Oliver in
Who?
your lineup.
Brandon Oliver.
Brandon Oliver better
AKA
be in
Young
your lineup.
Sproles.
Number 43. That is not Darren Sproles.
That is
people.
Brandon Oliver.
That is Brandon Oliver, and if he's in your lineup this week, he's going to get you at least one.
As
touchdown.
Mr. Adam Rank said, he's everything that we thought Donald Brown would be.
Yeah, that guy, Donald Brown.
Putrid.
I tell you what to do with him. Pan him. That's what you do with
Put him on
him.
the waivers.
Matter of fact, drop him
Yeah, drop
because
him.
you shouldn't even have him on your bench or anything.
Never trust any running back who played at UConn. I'm from Connecticut,
Ouch.
and don't ever do it. We like Phillip. We like Antonio. We like Keenan. We like
Gates is
Malcolm
definitely on
Floyd.
the shine. Keenan definitely on the shine.
We like Brandon Oliver. We like the Chargers defense. We like the Chargers punter. We like the Chargers equipment manager.
Nick Novak definitely on
Gotta
the
start
shine.
him. Oakland.
You actually can start James Jones this week.
James Jones.
James Jones has been killing.
He has been killing.
So, it's one of those weeks when, people on
Bye.
buys and, people might be hurt, like if you got AJ, you might need a receiver. Might want to take a look at James Jones. He got David Carr in the lineup. David Carr's in the lineup. That's his guy.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is definitely in the lineup. He's starting this week. So if Derek Carr's on the field, you might want to play James Jones because
in
that's
two of
his
his
guy.
last 3 games, James Jones has over 6 receptions and 80 yards. So.
He's a high volume guy. So whether you in regular
8
league,
points.
whether in a regular league or PPR league, he's a high volume guy. So you always want high volume guys.
And we're not starting no one for the Oakland. We don't discuss anyone in the Oakland Raiders. So we just move on to the next.
Putrid.
Yeah, we don't. Start.
Carter, I love you, big bro, but your team
Yeah.
putrid.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know why they're in the league, but anyway, I heard they may be getting Mike Holmgren.
Nice colors though.
The uniforms are nice, and yeah.
Just win, baby.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next game, which is Chicago and Atlanta. And this game is probably my the third most fantasy point game behind Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Denver. Actually, there's certain matchups that you wanted to start players. But moving on, because I'm running on a tangent. We got Chicago and Atlanta. Now, I like everybody in this game. I like Cutler. Even though Cutler doesn't play well on the road, Atlanta defense is horrible. They're ranked 31st in the National Football League in pass defense. And, I mean, they lost William Moore. And that's a...
If you got Cutler,
Gotta start
you
him.
got Marshall,
Start him, Jeffrey.
you got Bennett, you got
Shout out to Bennett.
Alshon.
Because everybody always forgets about Bennett.
Well, Martellus actually brought that on himself.
True.
Because Martellus should
He
be a
does.
premier tight end
Yeah,
because
he does.
he is a premier tight end, but he just had to act like a premier tight end, so they didn't treat him like a premier tight end. But I'm glad he ended up in Chicago on his feet, and he's what he is who we thought he was, pretty much. He's a premier tight end, and he's performing like one. If you have him, shine.
Yeah, we also like and I like
Matt
Antonio
Forte,
Smith.
gotta shine. That guy last week,
He's back.
awesome. So, just like Eddie Lacy, welcome to the party,
There we
Matt
go.
Forte.
Matt Forte. Also, we also want to take a look at possibly starting Anton Smith. He has 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
Not a bad start at home with Matt Ryan and Julio. But, Roddy, you can shine Roddy this week. Shine Roddy this week. Roddy, he had I don't think he really had a good game last week. But, I mean, if you have him on your team, and depending on who your other receivers are, you, in most cases, probably have to play him. But if you got Julio, that guy's going to shine.
You start Julio
You
every
got to
week.
start Julio. That guy, I had Julio. Lucky me.
Yeah, you gotta start Julio every week. I'm starting. If Harry Douglas is out, I may make a risk on Devin Hester.
Devin's been playing well,
He
so
can only take one to the house.
if you in the league, where you get kick return yards, and you need a receiver. He might touch the ball. Devin's still dangerous. He's not old Chicago Bears Devin Hester anymore, but he's still Devin Hester. So, if the ball's in his hand, good things can happen.
It usually happen. Yep. So we have that, and again we have I have Chicago possibly covering this game. I have Chicago.
I'm gonna roll with the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears.
I'll roll with the Bears. They should cover. Like I said, I look for that with that offense and Atlanta's defense being the last of everything. It's going to be kind of tough for them to stop that offense. That offense is pretty tough. But you never know. You might get Stinky J. You never know if Stinky J shows up and Cutler comes and stinks up the joint. That could happen too. So, but I mean, anywho, I'd say start him. If it happens, then it happens. You can't do nothing about that. But looking at it, I'd say shine.
Yeah, shine. Next up, we got Dallas and Seattle. He's still upset about Seattle defense, but I know you started Seattle this week at home.
I'm telling you, Seahawks defense. I'm calling you out, Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and you guys. Earl Thomas,
Michael Bennett.
I'm calling you guys out because last week you got 1 sack
that's insane.
against Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins. They gave up 50 points a few nights before that. So I'm calling you out. I expect a touchdown from the Legion of Boom this weekend at home against the Cowboys and Tony Romo.
I don't like Romo in Seattle this week.
If you have Romo,
I'm starting
he's
Dez,
on the pine this week.
I'm starting Dez.
If you have Dez, you probably got to start him. You can't really sit Dez Bryant. As you can see, Richard Sherman can be beat. He got beat twice last week by Deshaun Big Play Jackson. So, Deshaun's not even as dynamic as Dez. So,
just straight line.
If you got Dez, shine. If you got DeMarco, believe it or not, DeMarco's on my shine list for this week. Because this guy has been killing. Number one fantasy back right now.
100 yards in 5 straight games.
You got to start him.
OJ.
You got to start him. Only OJ and Jim Brown have done it. So, You figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
if
figure that
you
out.
sit him and he goes off, your fault.
Don't be surprised if he gets injured this game, though.
I mean, he could get injured.
I never wish that on
say
him.
that. Yeah,
Let me take that back. I'm
yeah.
sorry. That's
Yeah,
my
that-
Cowboys hatred. I'm sorry. The Cowboys
Terrible.
hatred definitely came out right there.
I
know, I gotta be biased.
That's a Giants fan.
Oh, I gotta be biased.
That's all that was.
A week before,
he's a Giants fan. That's
Seattle's
all.
covering.
He's a Giants fan.
Oh
But
no! Seattle's not covering. 8.5.
I don't know. Seattle defense. I'm talking to you all again. If you get a touchdown, you're going to cover. Because normally when the Legion of Boom and the 12th man are roaring their ugly head, the defense is on the one. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what y'all do. We got beast mode on the shine list always. I mean, he's the beast mode. I mean, if you have beast mode, get you some Skittles, put them in your lineup. If you got Percy this week,
Started.
you gotta start Percy. I know there's
Yeah,
a lot
upset.
of people right now upset about the 3 touchdowns that got called back.
Woo!
And I
feel
know
for y'all.
my homeboy, shout out to Mo Doozy. I know Mo is a little upset
He won, though.
2 of those touchdowns was double points, from Russell. He still won, but I know he would have probably liked to rub that in the commissioner's face that he did that. But definitely Percy on the shine list. Like I said, Pine Romo and Pine Dan Bailey. I actually had Dan Bailey.
Yeah.
I got lucky and was able to get Hauschka on the waiver. So I'm going to roll with Hauschka this week as far as the kickers.
Seattle's just a different team at home.
They are. They're a different beast at home.
It's
so,
just a different team. Like, you can't stop the run.
They're
You
like,
start in beast mode.
Like I said, they're 8.5. So, I mean.
Start in beast mode.
At 8.5, they might actually cover. I mean, Romo might throw a pick. So, I mean, if he throws a pick, anything can happen. But, I mean, even if they cover, I'm still rolling with the Hawks at home.
The next game we have is the Washington Redskins and the Arizona. Now,
It's the Redskins. We got the Redskins in Arizona. I know.
The bias. I know. I'm doing this for the Liverpool people. I know. I'm sorry.
It's terrible. Giant. He is a true Giants fan, so at least Giants fans as a listener, you can give him that much credit because he been calling them the Deadskins since we've been rolling. Yeah. So I'm
politically correct.
The Skins in Arizona. The Cardinals got tough defense. Mr. Peterson at corner. They lost Darnell earlier in the season. Darnell's been out, so definitely been missing Darnell. You got a lot of stuff going on with the Redskins right now. That's for sure. RG, back at practice, doing drills. So, you never know what's going to happen with that Redskin quarterback situation. But,
slide.
If you got...
Hey, Bryce Harper, Dan Snyder, get Bryce Harper in there and teach him this man how to slide.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. He might want to do that.
Man.
I mean, he might be able to play 10 years if he learns how to slide.
I like in this game. I like Pierre Gasson in this game. I know Patrick Peterson will probably be sticking Deshaun Jackson. So I definitely like
most of the day that
definitely like Pierre.
Pierre should have some good matchups. So I'll put Pierre on the shine list. He's not been playing that great, but I'll put him on the shine list for this week just because I know Patrick Peterson is going to have a busy day.
I like Washington in this game. Even though I'm not a Redskins fan, I can see Kirk Cousins going out there throwing for 300 yards. Because let's face it, Arizona defense is not. They lost Campbell. Danielle Dockett is out.
Danielle is out too.
That's interior.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's.
And Alfred's a big guy.
I'm starting Alfred.
And Alfred is on the shine list as well.
Definitely.
So if you got big Alfred in your lineup, keep him there. Definitely gonna get shine this week.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna definitely pine in Deshaun.
So we'll start with Mr. Jackson for the pine list. You definitely want to pine that guy. Deshaun Jackson should not be in your lineup this week. I know he had a great, awesome day against the Seahawks, but the Seahawks played a cover defense, so he was on anybody at any time. So
exactly.
he got into some pockets, and he's a fast guy. He's a awesome, dynamic player. So he did what he did. But this week he'll be lined up 1-on-1 with
Mr.
Patrick
Peterson.
Peterson. So, yeah, you take your chances. I mean, if you got him in your lineup, good luck. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do for you, but, I mean, if you want to play him, you can.
Who that?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. We said, like I said, we started off from Morrison.
I'll be starting Alfred. That's. I mean, I don't know about these Arizona Cardinals and Logan Thomas. I'm not.
Let's see about that.
I know Logan's a Hokie. I got shout out to the Hokies. I got a lot of Hokie friends, and all that good stuff. But I don't know if Logan.
Shout out to David.
I don't know if Logan's going to cut it on the field against Sackpo and Kerrigan on Sunday. We're going to see what happens, but I don't like his chances against Sackpo and Kerrigan. So definitely don't want to be looking at that guy to start as your quarterback for the week. Not a good move.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I don't know if you want to actually start anybody from the Cardinals. You could
Andre Ellington.
You could start Andre Ellington.
Yeah, Ellington
if you have Andre Ellington on your bench, one of those weeks, if he's not one of your feature guys, definitely somebody you could play. You could play Ellington this week. Ellington had a huge
39 points?
Huge week in fantasy last week. Almost put up 40.
81-yard touchdown.
Hey, I mean, you can play him. You can play him. He's probably their most dynamic guy. So
True.
I mean, that helps the process. He's dynamic. So start that guy. That guy deserves shine.
So we got. I'm happy.
I'm gonna roll. I mean, I'm not a Redskins fan, but I'm gonna roll with the home team this week. I'm gonna go with Washington over Arizona in Arizona.
Now
with Logan Thomas.
We gotta play some music. We're gonna talk about my Giants. We just added this part. We just talk about my Giants.
I should mess with him the whole time too. I should mess with him and roll with him. I'm like, you know what? I'm rolling with Philly this week.
Fuck your own opinion.
Matter of fact, I think I am going to roll with Philly this week. See how you like that, Patrick.
Yes. We must play this. Because it's that time of the week, and this is going to be something we do every week. I'm going to do every week. To give a shout out to my 4-time Super Bowl winning champion, New York Giants.
He's out of the last 2 games, y'all.
Let's talk about my New York Giants. See, when I talk about my Giants, I need some a good instrumental in the back. We're going to talk about my New York Giants. 3 games in a row. We got Odell Beckham back. Odell, shout out to Odell, LSU.
I definitely got Odell.
We got Ruben Randall out there.
I picked him up last week, actually.
Andre Williams.
I knew he was going to score a touchdown.
It's going to be a high-scoring match, this game. We started Nick Foles. We starting LaShawn.
Foles is getting
starting everybody in this match.
Shady, shine.
Foles,
shine.
Everybody. Shout out to my boy Eli, because you know what? I thought you was done.
Macklin, shine.
I thought you was done, Eli, but you said, Pat, I'm gonna master this West Coast offense.
I believe in Eli.
I'm gonna master this West Coast offense. This West Coast offense, I'm gonna master. Even though I can't scramble.
Believe in Eli.
I believe in Eli, man. 2-time Super Bowl winning champion, 3 games in a row.
That dude's a Manning.
Manning.
You never go against the Manning.
You know Odell and
you don't do that. That's you just never do that. You never go against the Mannings. I know Peyton had lost some Super Bowls and all that kind of stuff, but if the game is on the line, it's not really too many people you want to have over the Mannings. I'm just saying.
Very true.
That clutch 4th quarter, you want to give it to Eli. Shout out to Odell. Y'all know Odell Beckham and Eli Manning.
Man, he's gonna do big things for y'all. Man.
Yeah.
He's gonna do big things for y'all. I really do. I do really do think Odell.
I don't know about the whip dance he was doing when he scored a touchdown. I'm gonna have the whip beat next week because I kind of like the ratchet beats, But yeah, anywho, turn the music down a little bit.
So
but,
I'm assuming.
I'm going.
You're rolling with the
every week we roll with the Giants.
Hey, you rolling with the
every
Giants
week.
Well,
Prime time, 8:25. Eli's there. Let's go.
Well, people,
Monday night?
Sunday night.
I tell you what,
Philly.
Philly.
I'm rolling with the Eagles this week. Shout out to my Eagle fans. There's a couple of them that's probably going to be tuning in. Shout out to the Eagles fans. I'm rolling with the Eagles this week. I like Shady to have a big week.
He is due.
Shady haven't had a big week yet. It's under the lights. It's on NBC.
Sunday night football.
Rolling with Shady. So I'm going with Shady and Foles to have a big game.
Big sleeper this game, Riley Cooper. He's always a sleeper.
I mean, Riley. If you need somebody to play, Riley's probably somebody to take a look at. On the waiver this week. It's not really a lot of pine players in this game. I mean, I probably pine both defenses. I don't think it'd be a good idea to start either defense this week. Because once the ball starts flying, it might get ugly.
At least
this
is gonna be a high score.
Williams, what are you gonna do this week, buddy?
Andre Williams.
You
Good round.
You got the ball.
And
what
Reese,
are you
we
gonna
trust.
do?
Jerry Reese.
You got the juice, guy.
We trust you.
You got the juice, Andre.
Finding Giants.
With the juice. You got the juice. So what you gonna do?
Finding Giants every
You're
Tuesday.
in my lineup this week, by the
9
way. So you better do something. Because if you don't do anything,
My lineup too. In my other league. Got 2 leagues.
Probably getting waiver, actually.
Yeah, but I think he should do well.
But
He runs hard.
I like Andre. I like Andre.
You know who he remind me of though, right? You know who?
They're like Ahmad Bradshaw.
They same number.
They're like Ahmad
Oh, look
Bradshaw.
at Ahmad back there doing his thing.
So we roll with Andre this week. If you need a running back, he probably is on some waivers right now. He was about 56% in most leagues. So it's 50-50.
Andre, I'm sorry.
If you got Andre Williams, he's definitely somebody you can put in the lineup.
You may want to look at you may want to pick up Odell because you need receiver help, right?
Cruz.
No,
I mean, it's Eli. So I mean, if Eli looks like Eli been looking the last couple of weeks, you can probably roll with Cruz. You can roll with Cruz this week.
We don't like Sammy this week because Belichick.
Yeah, I started T.Y.
T.Y. is a good start. That's definitely a good start.
On a Thursday, yeah.
You want any theme music to your team?
Hey, you know who was sleeping running back? Forsett.
Who said that? The whole backfield, but it's tricky to know.
Yeah, who going to get the stuff?
Yeah, if Tyler Farrell might go off, or whoever.
Like I said, this is real, no unedited. That's my brother over there. He producing the joint. Shout out to my boy. He got the real estate joint going on. That's coming soon. We're taking it over. Remember, submit your questions to RTNSports@yahoo.com. If we address one of your questions, we will send you a free T-shirt.
Got the T-shirts coming.
Free T-shirt.
We got a memorabilia coming. We got the T-shirts.
So, it's our first week.
Our first week, man. Just bear with us. This is new.
This is all new for us.
It's fresh. We coming right at you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be uncut. You might see some stuff. We might say some stuff. So hey, but it is what it is. It's real.
Real talk.
It's real. That's why we're here. It's real. It's real talk. So the last game of the week. I guess I'll start. Since we calling out Super Bowls. The five-time Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers. We're in prime time this week. We got Cap, going up against the good old St. Louis Rams in St. Louis.
Cap went off last time in St. Louis last year. It was a Thursday night game.
He did go ham last year in St. Louis. Actually, him and Vernon went ham in St. Louis. Yeah, so of course I'm rolling with my Niners. I mean, why wouldn't I? Shine. I mean, you got Cap. Like I got Cap. You gotta give Cap some shine. Definitely put Cap in the shine. If you got Crab is shining this week. The guy's consistency. I mean, every week, he's double-digit targets. So, I mean, if he gets 12, 13 targets, you figure he'll have 9 catches, probably for about 90 yards, probably a touchdown. So if you got Crabs in your lineup. The Tank. You gotta put the Tank in your lineup. Frank Gore. I'm so glad we started running the football, people. I don't know what we were doing in the previous couple games, but I'm glad somebody decided to grab old Jimmy by his Dockers and say, Jimmy, you might want to get back to running the ball because Frank Gore has been over 100 yards the last 2 weeks. And guess what? He's going over 100 yards again on Monday night. So if you got the Tank, put him in your lineup. Gotta start the Tank. So these other guys, I mean the Rams. I mean Austin Davis, he played well. I wouldn't put the guy in my lineup. I mean, you know, maybe I don't know. He's at home. I guess you give him that. Rams defense definitely dropped them. Rams defense should not be in your lineup this week.
I put the curse on him. My man's a huge currency fan, so I thought I'd bust on him real quick. But because we winding down the show. I mean, that's like our last pick.
You know, we
But
like
still,
to say we're gonna roll.
You like Brian Quick?
Brian Quick. I would say Mr. Quick. Mr. Quick has actually been quite impressive.
Yeah, on the low.
Quick he's actually the number 2 receiver in fantasy football right now.
Wow.
Believe it or not, people. So if you got Brian Quick or need a receiver, you might want to put him in your lineup for the week.
I like Benny Cunningham this week too.
Benny actually my biggest. I don't know. Benny,
like
Zach Stacy, those guys. I don't know. You might want to put them on the pine this week.
You know what? I'm starting this week
Tough
if
defense.
I can.
Tough defense.
I may want to start
Nice.
Stevie Johnson.
Stevie actually has been pretty impressive. That's actually a nice thing. I like that. So, hey, rolling with Stevie. We're going to roll with Stevie Johnson. Just in case you need Stevie Johnson, we're going to roll with Stevie Johnson if you need him in the deeper league or if you got waivers. You know what it is. But that's the last game. You know, that's the end of week 6.
That's it.
You know, we be back for
Week 7, God willing.
Man, we appreciate y'all, man.
Follow us on Twitter.
Definitely, man. Definitely follow us.
RTNSports. RTNSports.
RTNSports, man. The Twitter handle, man. You know, we thank God for all of this, man. We got to.
Man, it's a blessing.
You know, it's a blessing to be here. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all
Thank
tuning
you for taking
in.
the time out.
Thanks for listening. If you don't listen and you mess up,
did it.
like I said, that's your fault.
We did it.
But we here and we ain't going nowhere. And like I
Every
said,
week.
if you don't like it, don't look at it. It don't matter because we still gonna shoot
Every week.
and we still gonna spit it like we spit it.
Fantasy!
We're spitter, and it's what it is.
So we signing off. Your boy Pat. You catch our tweets.
Y'all be easy.
Again,
Catch us on Twitter. We on Twitter all the time.
Send us your suggestions.
Send us your
RTNSports.
suggestions. Send us your shout outs, your hellos, you know, all of that, man. We just want the love, you know what I'm saying? We want the love, keep the hate, you know what I'm saying?
To a minimum.
And keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
RTNSports at yahoo.com.
We ain't even shout out our Twitter followers.
We just got
on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. How we not going to shout out all our Twitter people? You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people on Twitter, you know. With
Brown Sugar.
We got,
you are a Cowboys fan.
We got a lot of people that,
thank you guys for following our dream.
That's just supporting us, man.
I appreciate it.
You know, I ain't going to really go into names because we'll be here another 30 minutes trying to name all the people. But y'all know who y'all are. We talk to y'all every day. We appreciate it. We love y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We see y'all week 7. Signing off.
Smooth, how do you stop it? I don't want to hit it and then make it off. Okay.